There is a kind of exhaustion that sleep cannot cure. Your body may be lying still, the room may be silent, nothing dangerous may be happening around you, and yet, inside your mind, an entire war is taking place. You replay something you said 3 days ago. You wonder what another person really meant. You imagine a problem that hasn't happened. Then you imagine what you would do if it did happen. Then you imagine what might happen after that. Before you realize it, your mind has traveled weeks, months, sometimes years, into a future that does not exist. And your body is paying the price for every imaginary moment. Your heart beats faster, your breathing changes, your muscles tighten. Sleep disappears, peace disappears. And the strange thing is this: nothing actually happened. This is one of the most dangerous abilities of the human mind. It can make us suffer from reality, but it can also make us suffer from imagination. And sometimes imagination hurts us far more often. Think about your own life. How many disasters have you mentally survived that never occurred? How many people did you assume were angry with you when they weren't? How many times did you believe something was ending when it was simply changing? How many nights did you sacrifice to tomorrow, only for tomorrow to arrive completely differently from what you expected? We call this worrying. Sometimes we even defend it. We say, "I'm just thinking ahead. I'm being responsible. I need to prepare." But preparation produces action. Worry often produces nothing except more worry. More than 2,000 years ago, the Stoics recognized this problem. And two of the greatest Stoic thinkers could hardly have lived more different lives. Epictetus began life enslaved. Marcus Aurelius became emperor of Rome. One possessed almost no external power. The other possessed more external power than nearly anyone alive. Yet both discovered something remarkably similar. External power cannot guarantee inner freedom. A person can be physically restricted while developing extraordinary command over his own mind. And a person can rule an empire while still having to fight anxiety, anger, grief, frustration, and fear within himself. The battlefield was different. The principle was the same. Your greatest freedom begins when you understand what belongs to you and what never did. Today we're going through 7 Stoic truths that can completely change your relationship with worry, fear, overthinking, uncertainty, and the past. These are not tricks for pretending everything is fine. Stoicism is not positive thinking. It doesn't tell you that nothing bad will happen. Something bad eventually will. Plans fail, people leave, bodies age, mistakes happen, loss is unavoidable. Stoicism asks a much stronger question. Can you remain master of yourself even when life refuses to become easy? Stay until the 7th truth, because it deals with perhaps the heaviest thing many people carry. A version of themselves that should have been left in the past years ago. Let's begin. Truth 1. Control your response. Release the outcome. There are 2 categories in life: things that depend upon you and things that do not. Almost every form of unnecessary mental suffering begins when we confuse them. Epictetus placed this distinction near the foundation of his philosophy. Your judgments belong to you. Your choices belong to you. Your intentions belong to you. Your effort belongs to you. Your character belongs to you. But another person's opinion? Not entirely yours. Whether someone stays? Not yours. Whether your work receives recognition? Not entirely yours. The economy? The weather? The past? Tomorrow? Not yours. Yet look at where people spend most of their emotional energy. Exactly there. Someone sends an important message, then checks the phone. Again, again, again. Why? Because the mind is trying to control the response by watching for it. But checking the phone cannot make the person reply. It only allows their silence to control your attention. Or perhaps you apply for an opportunity. You did the preparation, you submitted the application. Now there is nothing left to do. But mentally, you continue working. You imagine acceptance, then rejection, then acceptance again. You calculate what rejection would mean about your future. You wonder whether you should have written something differently. Your physical work ended yesterday. Your imaginary work continues for 3 days. This is where Stoic discipline begins. Ask, what remains mine to do? If there is something, do it. If there is nothing, release it. Imagine an archer. The archer controls training, breathing, posture, aim. The moment the arrow leaves the bow, other forces become involved. Wind, movement, circumstances. The disciplined archer does not refuse to aim because the outcome is uncertain. He aims carefully precisely because his responsibility is effort, not guaranteed victory. Your life works the same way. Prepare carefully, love sincerely, work seriously, speak truthfully, make wise decisions. Then release the demand that reality reward you exactly according to your preferred schedule. This does not make you passive. It makes you effective. Because anxiety wastes energy trying to influence what cannot be influenced. Discipline redirects that energy toward action. Marcus Aurelius ruled during military conflict, political pressure, disease, and personal loss. Imagine the temptation to demand certainty in such circumstances, yet no emperor could order tomorrow to behave. Marcus could issue commands to soldiers. He could not issue commands to fate. So his real work became governing his own conduct. This is a lesson many people discover too late. Control is smaller than you think, but within that smaller territory lies enormous power. You may not control whether they respect you, but you control whether you respect yourself. You may not control whether they stay, but you control whether you abandon your principles trying to keep them. You may not control success, but you control preparation. You may not control the storm, but you control whether panic becomes your captain. Think about something currently worrying you. Separate it into 2 columns. What can I influence? What can I not? Then, stop spending equal energy on both. The second column deserves acceptance. The first deserves action. That distinction can return years of wasted mental energy to you. You were never supposed to control everything. You were supposed to become excellent at controlling yourself. Truth to your mind can turn possibility into pain. Imagine receiving a short message. We need to talk tomorrow. That's all. 5 words. But your mind immediately begins working. Something is wrong. Maybe I made a mistake. Maybe I'm losing my job. Maybe they're angry. What am I going to do? Within 10 minutes, you have experienced an entire disaster. Tomorrow arrives. The conversation happens, and the person says, "We want to discuss a new opportunity." Nothing terrible happened, except inside your mind. This is why Seneca's observation about suffering in imagination remains so powerful. Human beings possess an extraordinary ability to simulate the future. This helped our ancestors survive. If you can imagine danger before it arrives, you can prepare. But the same ability can become destructive when every unknown is interpreted as danger. The mind takes a possibility and presents it as a prediction. Then it takes the prediction and presents it as fact. Your body responds accordingly. Imagine walking alone at night. You see something moving near a wall. Your body reacts immediately. Then you move closer. It's a plastic bag moving in the wind. The fear was real. The threat wasn't. Thoughts can function like shadows. Their emotional impact does not prove their accuracy. This is where you need a Stoic question. What do I actually know? Not, what am I afraid might be true? What do I know? Someone hasn't replied. That is what you know. You do not know they hate you. You made a mistake at work. That is what you know. You do not know your career is destroyed. You experienced one bad date. That is what you know. You do not know you'll be alone forever. One plan failed. That is what you know. You do not know your entire future has failed. Notice how much calmer reality becomes when you remove the commentary. Facts are usually smaller than fear. Fear expands them. This does not mean ignoring genuine risks. If there is evidence of danger, respond. If a problem requires planning, plan. But worry is not automatically preparation. Preparation asks, what can I do? Worry asks, what else could go wrong? One creates a plan, the other creates another fear. Look backward for evidence. Think of something you worried about 6 months ago. Perhaps it consumed you. Where is it now? Maybe the feared event never happened. Maybe it happened but was manageable. Maybe something completely different occurred. Yet, at the time, your mind spoke as though it had already seen the future. It hadn't. Remember that the next time fear becomes confident, your mind can predict possibilities. It cannot guarantee prophecy. Return to facts. Return to this hour. Return to the problem that actually exists. Do not volunteer to suffer from 10 imaginary problems while you are still dealing with one real one. Truth 3 Acceptance ends the second wound. Some pain comes from what happened. Other pain comes from your refusal to accept that it happened. These are not the same wound. A relationship ends. That hurts. Then your mind spends 6 months saying, they shouldn't have left. How could they do this? What if I had said something differently? Maybe they'll come back. Now there is the original heartbreak. And there is the continuous mental resistance to reality. A business fails. There is financial pain. Then, this wasn't supposed to happen. I wasted my life. I should have known. Now failure has become identity. Someone betrays you. The betrayal is real. But years later, they may no longer be in your life, while the argument continues inside your head. This is what resistance can do. It allows an event to end physically while remaining active psychologically. Acceptance interrupts that cycle. But acceptance is often misunderstood. Acceptance does not mean what happened was good. It does not mean they were right. It does not mean I don't care. It means this is now part of reality, and I will stop demanding that reality becomes something it is not. Imagine falling and breaking your arm. You could spend 3 hours screaming, my arm shouldn't be broken, and perhaps you're correct, but your correctness does not heal it. The useful question is, what does reality require now? Treatment, rest, recovery, adjustment. The same principle applies emotionally. What happened should not have happened may be morally correct. But after something has happened, the practical question becomes, what now? That question contains power. Marcus Aurelius faced circumstances he would never have chosen. War, political betrayal, disease, death around him. Stoicism did not ask him to enjoy these things. It asked him to meet what existed without adding useless resistance. Picture a river. You are standing against the current, screaming at the water for moving. Eventually, you become exhausted. The river remains a river. Acceptance means turning around. Now you can navigate. You can swim toward shore. You can use the current intelligently. Reality did not become easier. You stopped wasting energy, demanding that it become different before you acted. There may be something in your life right now that requires this kind of courage. A person who isn't coming back, a mistake that cannot be undone, a body that has changed, an opportunity that has closed, a truth about someone you did not want to see. Ask yourself, what would become possible if I stopped arguing with the fact that this is real? You may still grieve, you may still feel disappointed, but grief can move. Resistance remains stuck. Acceptance is the moment you stop asking yesterday for permission to live today. Truth 4. Your attention is your life. Imagine someone stealing £100 from you. You would notice. Now imagine someone stealing 3 hours of your attention. Most people barely react. Yet which is easier to replace? Money can return. 3 hours cannot. Attention is life converted into focus. Wherever you repeatedly place it, part of your life goes. This makes attention one of your most valuable possessions, and modern life is designed to compete for it. Notifications, headlines, arguments, short videos, messages, comparison, breaking news, other people's opinions. Your mind can become crowded before breakfast. Then you wonder why you feel mentally exhausted. Marcus Aurelius repeatedly reminded himself that he did not need to form judgments about everything. That is a remarkable form of freedom. Someone says something foolish. You do not need to carry it. Someone criticizes you. You can examine whether it contains useful truth and then continue your day. A controversy erupts between people you've never met. You are allowed not to participate. Someone tries to provoke you. Silence remains an option. The modern world often treats attention as though everything deserves equal access to it. It doesn't. Your attention should have gates. Imagine your mind as an ancient city. Inside are your values, your relationships, your work, your health, your peace. At the gates stand thousands of people demanding entry. Fear says, urgent. Comparison says, look at me. Regret says, remember this again. Anger says, you need to respond immediately. Wisdom asks, does this deserve entry? That question is essential. Not everything demanding your attention deserves your attention. Suppose someone insults you for 10 seconds. You spend the next 4 hours thinking about it. They occupied 10 seconds of your external life and 4 hours of your internal life. Who gave them the extra time? You did. Or perhaps someone left your life 3 years ago, yet you check their profile. Replay conversations. Imagine what they're doing. Compare your life with theirs. Physically, the relationship ended. Attention keeps renewing the contract. This is why protecting attention is not merely about productivity. It is about freedom. Where your attention goes, emotion often follows. Constantly attend to what you lack, and you feel deprived. Attend constantly to threats, and you feel unsafe. Attend constantly to what others think, and you become dependent upon approval. But direct attention toward meaningful work, gratitude, present responsibilities, people you love, and what belongs to your control, and the inner climate begins changing. Your life is already happening. Do not miss it, because something louder demanded your eyes. Truth 5, this too will pass. One reason suffering becomes overwhelming is because the mind quietly adds one word: forever. I'll feel this forever. This problem will always follow me. I'll never recover. My life will never be normal again. But look at your own history. You have already survived versions of forever. Think about something that devastated you 5 years ago. At the time, it occupied everything. You woke up thinking about it. You went to sleep thinking about it. Perhaps you couldn't imagine a future where it no longer hurt. And yet you're here. Maybe the scar remains. But the storm changed. This is the nature of life. Everything moves. Pleasure moves. Pain moves. Youth moves. Success moves. Failure moves. Relationships change. Bodies change. Reputations change. You change. The Stoics contemplated impermanence because it corrected perspective. Marcus Aurelius ruled Rome. Where is his empire now? Seneca possessed wealth. Where is it? Powerful people once feared losing reputations that almost nobody remembers today. This is not nihilism. It is liberation from exaggerating the permanence of temporary things. If praise is temporary, do not become addicted to it. If criticism is temporary, do not be destroyed by it. If success is temporary, enjoy it without arrogance. If failure is temporary, learn without turning it into identity. And if life itself is temporary, stop postponing living. This is where memento mori becomes important. Remember death, not because death deserves obsession, because life deserves attention. Imagine discovering that you have exactly 1 year left. Suddenly, your priorities change. Would you spend 3 months arguing with someone online? Would you lose a week because a stranger disliked you? Would you continue postponing the conversation you know you need to have? Would you keep saying, "One day I'll start"? Mortality exposes nonsense. It also exposes beauty. A cup of coffee with someone you love becomes important. Morning sunlight becomes important. Being able to walk becomes important. A conversation with your mother becomes important. Ordinary things become extraordinary when you remember they are numbered. The Stoic does not respond to impermanence with despair. The Stoic responds with presence. This moment will pass. That is why you can survive pain. And that is why you should appreciate joy. Do not cling to either. Experience them. Learn. Continue. Time is carrying everything forward anyway. Walk with it. Truth 6 Peace is a practice, not a destination. Many people imagine peace as a future reward. When I earn enough, I'll relax. When I find the right relationship, I'll feel complete. When this problem ends, I'll finally be happy. When I move, when I retire, when I become successful, then the goal arrives. For a few days, perhaps you feel relief. Then the mind creates a new condition. Now you need more. A larger house, more recognition, more certainty, a better relationship, a higher number, a different body. The finish line moves. This is why peace cannot be built entirely from circumstances. Circumstances change too easily. If peace requires everyone to treat you well, one rude person can destroy it. If peace requires financial success, one difficult year can destroy it. If peace requires being admired, one critic can destroy it. If peace requires certainty, life itself will destroy it, because life contains uncertainty by definition. The Stoic solution is not abandoning ambition. You can build, achieve, improve, earn, create. But do not ask external achievements to perform an internal job. A larger house cannot quiet an undisciplined mind. Applause cannot permanently heal insecurity. Another person cannot provide the self-respect you refuse to build. Marcus Aurelius possessed extraordinary external power, yet his private writings return repeatedly to character. Why? Because an emperor could possess Rome and still lose control of himself. Imagine carrying muddy water in a glass. You travel to a beautiful beach. The water remains muddy. You move to the mountains, still muddy. You enter a luxurious hotel, still muddy. Eventually you realize the landscape was never the problem. The glass needed to settle. Your mind works similarly. People change jobs, cities, relationships, and routines, hoping peace will appear. Sometimes those changes are necessary, but if you carry the same habits of thought everywhere, eventually the same unrest returns. Peace is built through repeated decisions. You feel anger, you pause. Brick, you want to compare yourself. You return to gratitude. Brick, you begin worrying about tomorrow. You return to what you can do today. Brick, someone provokes you. You choose not to become the person they're inviting you to become. Brick, you make a mistake. You correct it instead of spending 3 days insulting yourself. Brick, one choice does not build the fortress. Thousands do. Eventually, peace becomes less dependent upon luck because it has become part of your character. The world remains noisy. You become quieter. The world remains uncertain. You become steadier. The world remains imperfect. You stop demanding perfection before allowing yourself to live. That is Stoic peace, not escape from life, strength within it. Truth 7 You are allowed to outgrow your past. There is one person many people spend their entire lives trying to punish: themselves. Not the person they are today, the person they were 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago. They made a mistake, trusted the wrong person, stayed too long, left too early, failed, hurt someone, lost an opportunity. And even though life moved forward, their identity remained attached to that moment. Listen to the language. I ruined everything. I've always been like this. I'll never change. I wasted my chance. Those sentences do something dangerous. They turn an event into an identity. There is a difference between I failed and I am a failure, between I was betrayed and I am someone people always betray, between I made a bad decision and I cannot trust myself. The first statement describes something that happened. The second creates a prison. Imagine carrying a suitcase everywhere. Inside are old mistakes, regrets, embarrassing memories, words people said about you, old relationships, old versions of yourself. Every morning, you pick it up. Nobody forces you. You simply became accustomed to carrying it. Eventually, someone asks, "Why do you still need that?" And you don't know. It has become part of your identity. This is what the past can become. Familiar weight. But familiar does not mean necessary. Stoicism asks you to return to today. Marcus Aurelius repeatedly addressed himself as someone who needed to make the right choice now. Not because yesterday didn't matter, because yesterday's lesson is only valuable if today's behavior changes. You cannot correct yesterday by suffering today. You correct yesterday by becoming wiser today. That is a completely different use of regret. Healthy regret says, I understand what I did. I will learn. Unhealthy regret says, I must continue hurting because I once made a mistake. One creates character, the other creates paralysis. Perhaps you were once weak, become stronger. Perhaps you were careless, become disciplined. Perhaps you trusted someone you shouldn't have. Become discerning without becoming bitter. Perhaps you hurt someone. Apologize where appropriate. Repair what can be repaired. Then live differently. Your punishment does not automatically help anyone. Transformation might. There is something powerful about recognizing I am responsible for my past without being required to remain identical to it. Responsibility and identity are different. Own what happened, then outgrow it. The person who made your old mistakes possessed less experience than the person listening to this right now. You know things today that they did not know. You have suffered consequences they had not yet experienced. You have learned lessons they had not yet learned. Why demand that the wiser person continue living as though no learning occurred? Growth requires allowing an old identity to die, not literally, psychologically. The version of you that needed approval, the version that constantly reacted, the version that procrastinated, the version that tolerated disrespect, the version that believed fear was prophecy. At some point, you must stop protecting them. Let them become history. Your past should be a teacher, not a permanent address. The Stoic reset. Now bring all 7 truths together. You do not control outcomes. You control your response. Your imagination can create suffering from events that never occur. Return to facts. Acceptance does not mean weakness. It means ending your argument with reality so you can respond intelligently. Your attention is your life. Protect it. Everything changes. Pain, praise, criticism, success, failure, and eventually you. Use that knowledge to become present. Peace is not something you discover after solving every problem. It is something you practice while problems still exist. And finally, your past can teach you without owning you. These ideas are simple. Living them is not. That is why Stoicism is a practice. You will still worry. The goal is to notice sooner. You will still become angry. The goal is to recover faster. You will still imagine terrible futures. The goal is to ask for evidence. You will still remember painful things. The goal is to stop turning memory into identity. Progress is not becoming emotionally perfect. Progress is reducing the amount of your life that unnecessary suffering is allowed to consume. Maybe anxiety once stole an entire week. Now it steals a day, then an hour. Eventually, you recognize the pattern within minutes. That is growth. The world may never become predictable. You become better at meeting unpredictability. Other people may never stop disappointing you. You become better at protecting your character when they do. The past never changes. You change your relationship with it. That is where freedom begins. Closing. When this video ends, do something unusual. Don't immediately open another video. Don't immediately check your messages. Don't immediately return to the noise. Give yourself 60 seconds of silence. Then ask, what am I currently carrying that does not belong to this moment? Maybe it's fear about tomorrow. Maybe it's anger from yesterday. Maybe it's another person's opinion. Maybe it's an outcome you're desperately trying to control. Maybe it's a mistake made by a version of you who no longer exists. Identify one thing. Then ask the Stoic question. Is there something useful I can do about this right now? If yes, do it. Make the call. Write the apology. Complete the work. Set the boundary. Create the plan. Take the first step. But if there is genuinely nothing you can do right now, practice releasing the demand that thinking about it longer will somehow create control. Your mind deserves rest too. Remember, you do not need tomorrow to promise you anything before you can live today. You do not need everyone to understand you before you can understand yourself. You do not need the past to change before you can change. And you do not need life to become easy before you can become peaceful. That is the power of Stoicism. Not controlling the storm, not eliminating uncertainty, not becoming emotionless, but building a mind capable of saying, whatever comes, I will meet it with reason. Whatever leaves, I will not abandon myself chasing it. Whatever happened, I will learn without living there forever. Whatever tomorrow brings, I will deal with tomorrow when it arrives. Today belongs to today. Protect it. If one of these 7 truths spoke directly to something you're experiencing, comment, I choose peace below, and tell us which truth you needed most. And if you're committed to building a calmer, stronger, and more disciplined mind, subscribe to Stoic Mind Empire for more timeless lessons from Stoic philosophy. Until next time, protect your attention, question your fears, accept what is real, release what is gone, master what belongs to you. And remember, a peaceful mind is not given to you by the world. It is built by the person you choose to become. Vid IQ.